The Mississippi River moved like a living creature in the winter of 1860s, low cold, and full of secrets. A thick white fog rested on its surface, swallowing the gas lamps that lined the St. Louis wharf. Footsteps echoed faintly on the wet planks, but the night was so still that each footfall sounded like a heartbeat. My name is Elias Turner, and I was just a mapmaker. As I lifted my lantern, squinting through the mist, the cold bit at me through my thin coat. But I didn't notice it. Not when I was running late. And not when I carried something far hotter than the winter wind. A map that should never have been drawn. A map that powerful men would kill for. I tucked the rolled parchment deeper inside my coat and stepped around a group of drunken boatmen. The air smelled of wet rope, stale tobacco, and the metallic hint of trouble. St. Louis was a powder keg, buzzing with talk of secession, of Lincoln's election, of the South breaking away. But I didn't care about politics. I cared about survival. I'd been hired for a simple geological survey of the riverbanks. That's what they told me. But what I uncovered was anything but simple. Hidden military positions, secret supply routes, coded Union networks all, on land that was supposed to be empty. And the men who hired me, they weren't surveyors. They were conspirators. Tonight, they were waiting to see my work. Tonight, I knew someone would die because of it. I finally reached the meeting place, Warehouse 41, a slanted, forgotten structure at the edge of the wharf. A single oil lantern burned in the window, hissing faintly, as if the flame itself was impatient. I pushed open the heavy wooden door. Inside, the air felt wrong. Too quiet, too empty. A crate rattled somewhere in the darkness. Then a voice. "You're late." The voice was deep and smooth, but it cut through the room like a blade. Colonel Silas Hawthorne stepped out of the shadows, removing his gloves one finger at a time. His Union blue uniform was immaculate. Yet he wore a hooded cloak over it, as if he didn't want to be recognized. Behind him stood two other men, one Southern, one Northern. I never knew their names, only their eyes predatory, hungry. "Did you bring it?" Hawthorne asked. My throat went dry. I just nodded. "Show us." He hesitated. The colonel's gaze sharpened now. My hands were shaking as I unrolled the map on a crate. The conspirators leaned in, their shadows stretching long and tense across the wooden floor. The Southern man whistled. "You found more than we expected." "Too much," the Northern man muttered beside him. Colonel Hawthorne said nothing. His eyes scanned the map with an unsettling precision. Finally, he spoke, his words carrying a dangerous weight. "This changes everything." "What happens now?" I asked, my voice barely a whisper. The men exchanged a look. "You leave the city," Hawthorne said slowly. "You forget this ever existed. Leave." But a metallic click snapped through the room. A gun pointed straight at my chest. The Southern man smiled coldly. "Loose ends are dangerous." My heart hammered against my ribs. I looked around for any way out, but there was none. Then a massive crash. Glass shattered from above. A storm of footfalls thundered on the roof. Federal agents. Someone shouted, "They found us." The conspirators panicked. Hawthorne-cursed lanterns toppled as men scrambled for cover. I didn't think, just dove behind a stack of crates as bullets ripped through the wall. The warehouse erupted into chaos. Gunshots, shouting, and flames catching on spilled oil. I crawled under the smoke, clutching the map to my chest, gasping for air. A body slammed to the floor near me, one of the conspirators. Blood spread like a shadow beneath him. I crawled faster. Suddenly, a figure crashed down from the loft above, landing hard on the crates beside me. A young woman, breathless, with fierce eyes, dressed in a dark traveling coat and holding a revolver. She aimed past me at someone in the smoke. 2 shots rang out. A man collapsed behind me. She grabbed my wrist. "Get up if you want to live." But who? No questions. We sprinted through falling beams and burning wood. The heat was blistering. The warehouse groaned like a dying beast. Outside, the fog swallowed us whole. We ran down the wharf until the fire was just an orange glow behind us. I collapsed against a post, my lungs on fire. The woman knelt in front of me. "You're Elias Turner, right? How do you know my name?" She offered me her hand. "I'm Abigail Rowan," she said. "I've been sent to keep you alive." Just then, a shout echoed down the wharf. Armed silhouettes appeared in the fog, moving toward us. Abigail stood, cocked her revolver, and gave me a sharp, urgent look. "Move. They're not the only ones hunting you." Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss the next chapter. See you then.